Hey everybody, I'm Matt Sharrers, the CEO of SBI. Joining me today in the studio is SBI alumnist Ryan Tognazzini, who is the CEO for iGraphics. So Ryan was an early member of the SBI team. He joined us and helped build the firm. He was the very first consultant that we ever hired. I think he was employee number 6, employee number 7. Did every job in the company up to and including potentially collecting some invoices from clients, and was also one of the people, the only non-partner to ever win Employee of the Year, which was voted by your peers. So the guy is a legendary SBIer, and he's also one of my closest friends, so I'm allowed to be biased. He's a CEO. He left last year, and you might be saying, my God, why would you let a guy who's CEO caliber leave? Well, that was part of the tour of duty. So you don't stand in the way when somebody has the opportunity to better their lot in life. So Togs, I guess it would be helpful for candidates that are considering coming here, because we're not for everybody.
Yep.
I am not for everybody. Why did you join SBI? What did you expect, and what did you get out of it in your 7+ years?
So a couple reasons I joined. So one is I was looking for a new challenge at the time, and the things that were interesting to me in the prior work that I'd done in my career was kind of problem solving difficult challenges, and certainly in consulting you get a good dose of that.
Yeah.
The other thing is I went from a small company out of college to a very big company in Cintas, which was 30,000+ employees.
Yeah.
And then back to a small company, and I loved building something and feeling like I mattered, and the work that I did mattered,
Yep.
and that it was
Yep.
contributing to
Yep.
the greater whole.
Yep.
So the opportunity to kind of get the intellectual challenge with building it, and then obviously working with you and the guys in the early days. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a blast. So
Yeah.
the people was a big deal too.
You've heard me say this very often, and many of our candidates who are considering us and our new employees now that we're bigger, when I talk about work-life intersection, people struggle to understand what it is I mean. And I talk about SBI as a platform, and that's something Greg used to talk about. How did the platform change you? And not just you, but you, Brooke, the girls, like talk about the broader element.
Yeah, so I would say, I mean, first off, I used to say this when I would interview candidates for you, is the management consulting world is not for everybody.
Yeah.
But the management consulting world is what it is, and that doesn't, that's not going to change. So
point.
it's 24/7, 365. So in terms of work-life intersection, I mean, your work life intersects with your life all the time.
Yeah.
So, nights, weekends, et cetera. And if that's the world that you want, I mean, there's no better place.
Yeah.
So understanding that that intersection is there. I mean, the clients need things, and when they need them, you gotta deliver them.
Yeah.
In terms of the platform, one of the great things that I found is the concept of living the ideal life and defining what your ideal life is to you, and the empowerment that I got from the partners in the firm to define what that was, not only for creating the roles that I worked in while I was at the firm, but ultimately making the decision to leave. It was one of the best decisions I ever made, and it was one of the easiest decisions I ever made. I had 2 little girls at home. They're 2 and 3 now. Being on the road all the time the intersection there was conflict, basically, because I wanted to be home raising my kids.
Yeah.
And so had I not gone through the SBI experience and had the concept of the ideal life in my mind, I may have just kind of gone through without ever really acknowledging that and missed the opportunity to raise my girls.
So as you're listening to Ryan and I talk, the reason, in my opinion, why Ryan is now a CEO, and for anybody else who comes into the firm having been an account manager, 3.5x's their income while they're here and leaves as a CEO, that's part of the employee experience. That's part of my offer to you. But Ryan worked his ass off to make that happen. He understood what he was giving up, but you can't get to the other side, and you can't get to a job like a CEO if you're not willing to put it in. The friction that employees feel, the want, but not willing to give, right? And some of that I personally struggle with when people ask for things, and I look at the balance between that. And you were able to achieve that, but you were also able to be self-aware and say, my tour of duty, my couple tours of duties, right, over these different roles have come to an end. I can now go do this and still be a charter member of our alumni. So I guess that's my last question for you. And you've been an unbelievable alumnus, referring people and business and whatnot over the past year that you've been gone. What does it mean to be an SBI alum?
It's awesome. I may come back someday. You never know. I refer back to the firm all the time. My experiences, the things that we did internally. I've implemented countless things that you guys do at SBI in my own company now, from leadership academies to strategic planning to operating rhythms to core values. So not only was it this great experience where I just learned, I learned more in 7 years at SBI than I probably learned in my entire life to that point from a career standpoint. So having all those knowledge assets, I guess, or this IP, but also being able to really understand like what it takes to run a successful business. So it's been awesome.
Cool. Well, I love seeing you thriving, brother.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. So hope you guys enjoyed the spot. If you are on your journey and thinking about joining us, Ryan might be a guy for you to speak to, because we are not for everybody, as Ryan said. And if you are an internal employee and you're watching this, Ryan is also somebody that if I was telling you who I would want you to emulate relative to how you think about work-life intersection and a tour of duty, there's no better person. So appreciate you tuning in.